Hello, Mrs. I'm sorry, how do you pronounce your name?
Cricker.
Cracker.
No, Cricker.
Cracker.
Cricker.
Cracker. Got it.
Yes, it's French. My grandmother's aunt's brother on my father's side, twice removed, was from France. Don't ask me to speak any French though. Okay, bye. You twisted my arm. Oui, baguette, entrevous.
Thank you for that. Please state your name and how you know.
My name is Karen K. Cricker, and I was 7th grade teacher.
Is being recognized by our streaming service, Blue Box, as one of the most successful women in the film industry. I have a series of questions I'd like to ask you concerning your experiences with her. So we're gonna head right into it.
Oopsies. The proper way of saying that is going to. Sorry, I just had to. It's the English teacher in me.
Right. Let's just get started. How was academic performance?
She was a very bright girl. She was the only African American student in my honors class. She definitely overcame a lot of circumstances that burdened her kind to achieve such a feat.
How do you mean? Her kind being what?
Well, you know.
No, I don't.
I'm just saying that her counterparts weren't doing as well as her. She was one of the good ones.
Can you please describe her behavior?
A good kid for the most part. She was definitely very sassy. She proved to be a bit difficult at times.
Can you elaborate on that statement?
Kind of walked around with a chip on her shoulder. She had quite an attitude and didn't know how to hide it. You know, the school was located in such a rough area, and because of that, I had many colored people in my classes. But as an educator, I feel that I can be their Gerwell.
Gerwell from Freedom Writers?
Yes, exactly. I can inspire them through education and literature and show them that they don't have to resort to, a life of crime, and they can rise above the norm of their race. And I mean, I tried to reach out to her and offer her my support, but she was extremely reluctant.
Why do you think that was?
I have no idea. She just had this resistance that I did not understand, and she repeatedly disrespected my authority. For instance, when the whole class sang the Pledge of Allegiance, she'd be completely silent. And I even called her out on it once. She looked right at me and didn't say a word.
Don't students have the choice to remain silent?
Not in my class, they don't. We live in America, and I expect every single one of my students to respect this country and those who died for it. I'm sorry, give me a second. Just 1 second. Hello? Yeah, I'm in the middle of the interview. I'll call you right back. Sorry.
Okay. So final question. What word would you use to describe when you knew her?
I'd say a troubled child with a troubled past and that couldn't recognize her true potential.
That was more than one word.
May I speak to your supervisor? Hello, Mr. Smith. Briefly introduce yourself and state how you know.
Yo, what up? My name's Benny Smith, but my dogs call me Beat Dizzle, and I went to high school with...
Were the two of you friends?
No.
What did you think of her, if you thought about her at all?
She was annoying as fuck.
Mr. Smith, you can't do that in here.
She was one of those crazy feminazis. She hated men and white people, and all she would talk about is toppling the patriarchy, white supremacism, blah, 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 systemic racism. Don't get me wrong, racism sucks and all, but not everything's about race.
Did she ever express these beliefs to you?
No, never. But I remember her going off on this one guy I knew. Yeah, not me though. I think his name was Lenny.
Okay, and what happened between her and Lenny?
It was lunchtime, and Lenny, was at a table with one of his bros, just talking about some lit-ass party he went to that weekend. Then out of nowhere, comes up to him, and goes, "Can you stop saying that word?" He goes, "What word?" Then she's like, "The N-word?" He's like, "Oh, why?" Then she takes this deep breath and says, "Because you're very much white, so you can't say it." Lenny rationally explains and says, "Relax, I'm not saying ER, I'm saying AH as in homie. You feel?" She starts to clench her fists and shit, and says it doesn't fucking matter. It's not your word to use, you privileged white boy. Then he's all like, "Bruh, that's dead-ass reverse racism. Black privilege exists too. If you could say it, so can I." Suddenly, slaps him, like in the face. She was bugging the fuck out. Then she says, "Say that shit again. I dare you. Say it, you inbred male-guzzling snow roach." She stares at him mad hard as he stays silent. She lets him go and says, "Yeah, that's what I thought, you little white bitch."
Lenny, didn't come back to school for a week after that incident. But you know, Lenny was a pussy-ass bitch. If that were me, I would have stomped that hoe out. If she can slap me, I can slap her right back. That's gender equality.
So based on Lenny's experience with, what word would you use to describe her?
That shit crazy.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. By the way, check out my SoundCloud, B Dizzle in the Hizzle.
Hello, Miss Wright. Briefly introduce yourself and say how you know.
Hello, my name is Marissa A. Wright, and I went to college with.
Can you please describe the nature of your relationship?
And I were really good friends. At first, I thought she was really weird because she wore these bright colors all the time, but once we started talking, we really clicked. We'd hang out a lot and talk about movies and books and social justice issues and stuff like that. She's also mad funny. She had no chill, but we remained friends for the whole 4 years, and then we stopped talking after graduation.
So what caused the rift between the two of you?
It's like I said, she had no chill. Sometimes she was just a lot. She was really loud and extra.
And that upset you?
That's part of it. The main issue I had with her was her aggressive nature. She just always had a problem with something and had to express it. She really wasn't a nice person. She kind of reminded me of my younger self. I used to be so angry all the time, but it was exhausting, and I realized that's just not the path I wanted to take.
Did you ever tell her how you felt?
Yes, I did. And it caused a fight between us that almost lasted the entire summer before senior year. Then she apologized because she realized she was being overly aggressive.
Did anything change?
Not really. She was still problematic and unnecessarily vocal. I realized the bigger problem was that she was emotionally unintelligent and she did not possess critical thinking skills, especially reflection. She would react instead of act and then whine about nobody liking her. I sat her down and I told her that WOC,
WOC?
women of color, were black. And I told her that we can't be mean and blunt because people will perceive us as disrespectful and angry. Not only that, it's just not a good look. Sometimes it's better to keep your comments to yourself.
Okay.
I personally felt like it was something she needed to hear, but she thought otherwise. She attacked me and then went on about how I thought I was better than her, and that she had to prove her worthiness to be my friend, which according to her wasn't a real friendship. She ranted for a couple more minutes, but I honestly didn't hear because I didn't really care. Yeah, I think that was the last time we spoke before we completely lost contact.
Have you ever thought of patching things up with her?
I mean, we had our good times, but I can't imagine what the film industry has done to her ego. I don't need that negative energy in my life.
Alright, what is one word you would use to describe?
I'd say abrasive.
What the fuck is happening? Why does he have that on?
He wanted to remain anonymous.
Why didn't he say that when we called for the interview? him we can provide him with silhouette lighting?
I did.
Did you tell him we can just pixelate his face in editing?
I did. He's insistent on remaining completely anonymous. I choned out.
Okay, well, there goes like half my questions. Mr. Doe, shall we start?
Yes, we shall.
I see that you would like to remain anonymous. Why is that?
For my safety.
Do you believe will come after you in some way if she views this interview?
Most definitely.
Can you speak a little bit about your relationship with her?
I can't go into specifics.
Okay.
I did everything right.
What does that mean?
I was the perfect guy. I was mindful, I was kind, I was there for her when she needed me. I didn't objectify her out loud, yet I never made it out of the friend zone.
Can you please explain what the friend zone is?
According to Google, it's a friendship that exists between two people, one of whom has an unreciprocated romantic or sexual interest in the other. But I can assure you, it's much worse than that. It's the worst place to be in the entire world. It's when you give someone your all and do everything you can to show them that you're the perfect guy, but it turns out they were just leading you on the entire time, and then you realize they're nothing but heartless whores that like to destroy people's lives for sport. They crush your dreams, they step on your heart and leave it in a million pieces.
Hello, Miss Bitch.
Hi.
As you know, you've been selected to be featured on Blue Box's very first original docuseries, Girls Get It Done.
Yeah, y'all need to workshop that title.
It's already official. There will be no workshopping.
Unfortunate.
We can start off with some basic questions I would like to ask you.
Yeah, shoot.
Describe your nationality and ethnic background.
I was born in Brooklyn, lived there for 2 years or so, then I moved to Toronto. I'm black. My parents are from Nigeria.
What do you do for a living?
I make films, I write them, I direct them.
Name your top 3 favorite films.
I'd say Black Swan, Nocturnal Animals, and High School Musical.
Out of all of the films you've made, which have been your favorite?
Ooh, The Color Pink, Agatha, Chronicles of a Bad Bitch, and I'm Moving to Venus. I'm Moving to Venus was a pain in the ass to shoot, but it was well worth it in the end.
Some that worked on the film with you claim that you were quite difficult to work with. What is your response to that? Shifting gears here, we interviewed a number of people about you, and in all the interviews, there's been a recurring mention of you being
Abrasive, sassy,
Feminazi.
chill,
A troubled child.
emotionally unintelligent,
heartless whore,
That shit crazy.
loud, and extra.
well, a bitch of sorts. How does that make you feel?
I'm fine. Something I haven't heard before.
Do you believe that in some ways you are a bitch?
Yes. Yes, I am a bitch. Absolutely. 100%. No doubt about it.
You don't see that as a problem?
No? Do you?
Well, I don't know.
Let me ask you something. What makes a bitch a bitch? Actually, no. What makes me a bitch? I'll tell you. It's the fact that I don't take any shit from these pompous pricks. I demand respect for my space and for my time. Because I know what I want and how I want it.
I see.
And the thing is, because I'm so good at what I do, I've been labeled a bitch. And you know what? I agree. I'm a bitch. I'm not shy or quiet. I'm not a lady and I don't aim to please. I'm a whole lot and then some. So yes, I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch because I define what it means. A bitch is a boss, and a boss ain't nobody's bitch. Put that shit in the final cut.
Ho.
Period.
Oh man. She lacks critical thinking skills, especially reflection.
Why did you just stay silent? She definitely overcame a lot of circumstances that burdened her time to achieve such a feat. Fuck me.
Then out of nowhere, comes up to me, him, and goes,
Ryan, stop biting your fucking nails and stop breathing out very loud. Do you want to leave this at? So yeah, a bitch is a boss. Shut the fuck up. You ready? I'm a bitch because I define what it means. A bitch is a boss, and a bitch.
Yo.
Yeah. Leave. Bastard. No, leave and don't come back.
No, I know what you meant, but I know what you think.
I'm a bitch because I define what it means. A botch is a.
Not a botch. I'm sorry. How do you pronounce your name?
Quick hair.
Cracker.
No. Fuck! I'm not even wearing the right glasses.
I used to hang out a lot.
Walks off set. Slay queen. Here.
Let's do it again.
Your selection.
Your selection. I'm so sorry. Just give me a second.
Come on. Get your shit together, bitch.
I don't even know why I'm laughing right now.
Yeah.
suddenly, slaps it, like in the face. She was fun, but fun.
You ready?
A bitch because I define what it means. A bitch is a boss, and a bitch. Fuck! She run the back, run the back, run the back.
She would act instead of react. She would react instead. We made it so far.
We did. We did.
We did.
We can cut it.
Can we?
It would be right in the middle of your monologue.
I mean, like before. Cut it before. So just ask.
It's
them.
fine. We're not gonna throw this away. Well, I am, but put that shit in the final cut.
Fuck this pussy boy. Fuck it.
She was a very bright girl. She was the only African. Yes, I love her and fuck up all of my lines. Full on game shit. You can look up.
You're not trying to fuck.
Then she says, sing that shit again. I dare you. Say you inbred male cousins in a row.
I'm about to die again.
How do you say your last name?
Care to elaborate on that statement?
No. Oh my god.